Hi there! TTW-MarketVolume Pro for Bookmap is of great support in trading when you need to see what market or aggressors are actually trading. MarketVolume Pro works for stocks and futures. Since we developed and released our first TTW-MarketVolume Pro for Bookmap version, we have been constantly improving MarketVolume Pro for Bookmap. Actually, we have released version 2.6. In 2.6, we have restructured TTW-MarketVolume Pro for better usability and added some new features like sound alerts, crypto and currency support, and function to activate and deactivate MarketVolume Pro for each instrument separately. Update is free for MarketVolume Pro users. Please download newest versions from links you will find in our release email. An additional download link is below the video. Let's have a closer look at the changes we have made in the newest version. At the top, you can change the decay time of the market volume for each instrument. Decay time is the time of market volume which remains in the calculation of MarketVolume Pro. In this case, the market volume of the last 60 seconds will be taken into calculation. Shorter time gives a faster signal than a longer period. 60 seconds is a good default value to start with. However, you can experiment with time settings for each instrument separately. Coming to the V delta stop line section. V delta and stop line color settings have been grouped with symmetric axis settings. This is the V delta and stop run line which oscillate around the zero line. If V delta stop line is above zero, buyers are leading. That means buyers are buying from ask, from limit ask, thus meaning they are lifting the offer. If V delta stop run is below zero, sellers are leading. That means sellers are selling into bids, thus meaning sellers are hitting the bids. V delta calculates precisely the market volume traded between bid and ask. The colored line represents the difference between buyers and sellers. By activating symmetric axis, you can let the curves oscillating around a common zero line. That can be helpful for high liquid markets as stocks are like Apple, Microsoft, and so on. Coming to the hit bid and lift ask line section. These colors are self-explaining. You can define the colors as you like. Both hit bid and lift ask represents market buyers and sellers which sells into bids and which buys from ask. These are two separate lines in the Bookmap subchart. As you can see, green is lift ask and red in this case is hit bid. Activating symmetric axis has the same function as mentioned before. Coming to the V delta stop run signal section here. V delta signals have been introduced before. By defining a number in the signal level configuration, you will get a signal on the chart when the amount of volume is reached. That means in this example, I have set the volume number to 100. That means when a volume of 100 lots and more contracts will be traded, either below or above zero, or the zero line, a signal will be drawn on the Bookmap chart. Additionally, you will see a number above or below the symbols. This number represents the amount of volume which is traded at that specific time. You will see numbers which are higher than 100, for example. The reason is the time the trigger will be sampled. At that specific time, volume value can be equal or higher than the number you have set in the configuration. Meaning is obvious in this case. If V delta trades above zero line, buyers are in charge. If V delta trades below the zero line, sellers are in control. You can read and see divergences developing. Please see an introducing blog post on TTW-MarketVolume Pro functions on our webpage TTW-Trader.com. Link is below the video. By enabling this section, signals will be calculated and drawn on the chart. You can enable or disable this function from each instrument separately. When you click on Edit, you can define your preferences for symbol, size of the symbol, and position of the symbol. Symbols allow selecting different symbols like arrow up, arrow down, dot, square, triangle up, triangle down. Size gives you several size settings, which means from very small to very large symbol size. And position allows to select the position of the symbol. That means you can set it far above the price, above price, on price, below price, and far below price. I have defined my settings for lift ask as arrow up, medium, far below price. You see that here also on this control panel here. We have added additionally alert sounds in version 2.6. When the threshold will be reached and symbol drawn in the chart, a specific sound will be issued. It is important to emphasize here that the volume settings varies for each instrument. You must know the liquidity of the instrument you want to apply MarketVolume Pro. When you trade stocks like Apple, you must define the number in the signal level according Apple's liquidity. In this case, you should start with at least 5,000 higher to get meaningful signals. For ES Mini Future, a value of 100 to 150 is good for the start. NQ is a thinner instrument, and that means a value of 50 might be the best. So keep in mind that accurate values depends on instruments' liquidity and also volatility. Coming to the V delta stop zero cross signal section here. By enabling the section V delta zero cross, we have introduced a function where you can easily see when the price trades around the zero line. We call that congestion areas. These are congestion areas where the market buyers and sellers are in a tight range. Here, for example, as you can see, this is the congestion area where the price oscillated around zero, based on your setting you have defined here. If you spot these areas on the chart, you won't trade these tight price ranges. If you are already invested and price is in a congestion zone, it will give you an additional information about actual market moods. You can define the colors and symbols for these areas as you can define it for the V delta and stop run signals. Functions are the same as mentioned before for V delta signal settings. As well, you can add alerts if you want to, and alerts will be activated when the crossings happen. So keep your TTW-MarketVolume Pro for Bookmap up to date. You can do that by following this link. It points you to Bookmap Marketspace. TTW-MarketVolume Pro is available on Bookmap Marketplace as a one-time chart software. See my previous video, how to read TTW-MarketVolume Pro best. It is linked at the end of this video. Read also the post on my webpage TTW-Trader.com about Bookmap and MarketVolume Pro version 2. Thank you for watching.